face. Livingston spinning on ball. Another mid-range jumper for Shaun Livingston.
Livingston is fouled. Away. Shot clock at 4. No reset. Livingston behind the backboard, and he.
The Thunder do not have a high-scoring bench as Livingston turns, shoots, and scores.
Livingston working on Ellington. Little turnaround is perfect.
Livingston pull-up jumper, count it, and a foul.
They got it in.
He got a missed shot that was rebounded and tapped up and hit by the wall.
Go elsewhere.
Livingston on ground. And Shaun will draw the foul. Livingston will crossover. And Shaun with the mid-range.
Our good young players get away. So maybe you overpay, but that's the way it goes.
On
The aggressiveness of Golden State. Livingston will shake and bake and puts it in.
Bothered by Lou.
I just shot my shot at this little dot. I'm trying to crit that neck on her big neck. My niggas selling crit.
What's up, YouTube? It's Drew, and I'm back in another video coming with a big body banger 23 video. Now, first things first, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna roll to 7K. I'm saying today I am the build dealer on your local corner, and I'm gonna draw with this Shaun Livingston 2K23 build video. Yes, sir, this was requested, so here it is today. I did good time with this build as always. You know what I'm saying? As you see. Well, as always, as you always see, you know, we always had those popular requests. Shaun Livingston is always one of those requests, you know, because obviously he had that career-threatening injury, I believe, to his knee. And after that, you know, obviously he wasn't the same, but the one thing that remained the same was his mid-range shooting ability. You know, one of the best mid-range shooters to do it. You know, and hopefully, I wish he never got injured, but I guess it led to him winning, what, 3 rings it is. But without further ado, let's get right into the attributes that I use for this 2K23 Shaun Livingston build video. All right, so as you see, he's a point guard, right-handed, number 34. You see, with his body settings, I made him 6'7", 192 pounds, with a 6'11" wingspan and a solid body shape. You know, this is all accurate from the height to the weight to the wingspan. As always, I try to keep my builds as accurate as possible, you know, just for build's sake. You know, a lot of people just kind of do whatever they want and call it a Steph Curry build. That's not a Steph Curry build, you feel me? Now, as for the attribute you see for his close shot, I put it up to a 67, his driving layup up to an 85, his driving dunk up to an 85 as well. And then for your post control, you want to put that at the great rating of a 75. Now, for your shooting, you want to max out your mid-range shot all the way up to a 92. For your free throw, you want a 70. For your playmaking, you want a 75 pass accuracy and 87 ball handling to get gold clamp breaker and max out your speed with ball. For your defense and rebounding, you want to put your interior defense up to a 73, put your perimeter defense all the way up to a 77. So yes, you will be able to play on the perimeter at least a little bit. Then put your steal rating up to an 85 to get silver glove. You know, so you will also be able to get into the passing lanes, into people's pockets, and then you also want a 60 defensive rebounding. For your physicals, you want an 80 speed and 80 acceleration. Put your strength up to a 49. You want a 75 vertical and then a 95 stamina. And this is pretty much the build, man. Like, comment, and subscribe if you are new. Let me know what y'all think about it. If y'all think it is accurate towards Shaun Livingston, if I could have did something differently, if you would have liked for me to do something differently, just let me know. I'm open to all requests. As always, I'm open to all feedback. I always reply positively. Now, as for his takeovers, you see I go with pull precision and easy blow-bys, but you have access to slashing, shot creating, playmaking, and lockdown takeovers. So it is a pretty wide range to choose from for this Shaun Livingston build. You know, you're not really limited to anything. And you see in the shades of, I get Walt Frazier, Markelle Fultz, and Kevin Porter Jr. This is definitely a unique 3 shades of. You see it's a mid-range shot creator. I always thought shot creator was just shot creator, you know, in general mid-range, but either way, it's a mid-range shot creator, a little bit redundant, but it is what it is. You know, once again, these 3 shades of are definitely unique. I don't think I've ever had a Walt Frazier shades of. I've never had this combination of shades of. I barely had a KPJ shades of, so it is unique and cool to see this type of thing in 2K. Now, as for the badge spread, it's already a pretty balanced badge spread, but as you saw, you only have 14 defense and rebounding badges, but you have access to silver gloves. So what you want to do is add 2 extra badges towards your defense and rebounding so you can equip that silver glove badge. And then for your other 2 points, you could honestly put them between finishing and shooting. You know, if you want them on playmaking too, go ahead, but I would suggest finishing and shooting, you know, either or. But as for this build, it was just very smooth. You know, it felt very smooth. For one, it's a tall point guard, so that's already a benefit. It has high post scoring as well, another benefit of the build. So you walk around with a 6'7" point guard that can post score and also just shoot from anywhere on the mid-range spot. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, but this build has no 3. See, the point of mid-range is to still be able to extend your range. You know, if you have just a mid-range shooting build, they can't play off of you. You know, that's like if you were to have 0 shooting, that would be the problem. But because you have mid-range shooting, you are able to also draw your defender out, because then they have to guard you. Because, you know, a lot of times with builds that can't shoot, what do their defenders do? They just sit in the paint and wait for them to do something. You know, with a build like this, they can't sit in the paint. Now, while you can't, like, obviously be guarded from deep because they know you're not going to shoot any 3s, they will still have to guard you on, say, on the elbow. They got to guard you in the middle. You know, they got to guard you in the corners because they know that you can just take one dribble and go, you know. So this is one of those builds where you got to be smart with it. You got to have the IQ. You got to know what you're supposed to do. That was a bar. But let's talk about Shaun Livingston a little bit. As I was saying, you know, bro blew out his knee, but he still had a pretty illustrious career. Like I'm saying, 3 rings and being one of the, like, a pivotal bench player for those championship teams, it really does mean a lot, especially when people look at you as like a legend for one aspect of your game, and that's mid-range shooting. You know, a lot of people say he had the prettiest mid-range game. A lot of people say he was the best mid-range shooter, a mid-range master, all of that. You know, it just doesn't stop, man. And I feel like that's a lot. You know, even with his tribulations, he triumphed. I sounded like a motivational video right there, but still, he did what he was supposed to do, and he did it in strides. You know, he didn't let his injury stop him, and he kept on pushing. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video, y'all. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're on the road to 7K, you know what I'm saying? Comment down below any builds y'all want, and as always, I'll eventually get to them. You know, 2K24 is on the way, and I am ready for some new content. But until then, I'm out. Peace.